morning.
Good morning.
And welcome to All Faiths Unitarian Congregation. Today we are honoring the Muslim holy day of Eid, which occurs later this week to mark the end of the fasting month of Ramadan. It is in celebration of the time that Muhammad received the message of the Holy Quran. My name is Michelle Gemma, and I will be leading our service today. Here at All Faiths, you will find a diverse and inclusive spiritual community where we welcome people with many beliefs. You can bring your whole self, your full identity, your questioning mind, and that expansive heart. At All Faiths, we have more than one way of experiencing the world and understanding the sacred. So no matter who you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, and no matter whom you love, you are truly, truly welcome here. Is anyone visiting for the first or second time? And if so, do you mind raising your hand? Welcome. We're so glad to have you here with us today. If you'd like to know more about All Faiths, please see Fran Way. She's waving. And she'll be after the service waiting to have your questions answered. And she'll be right at the door. You can also find out information on allfaithsuu.org. Today we do have a couple of extra announcements that are not on the back of your order of service. We're going to be having the plant sale next week, Saturday, and what's left over on Sunday. That's from 9 to 12 here at All Faiths. Get some nice plants. And also, please join us on Tuesday at 2 p.m. for the Climate Action Team's showing of the movie Current Revolution. We hope to have a big audience there. Now, if you could please rise in your body or in spirit, we're going to sing hymn number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. The words are on the back of your order of service or in your hymnal now.
Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
As Ursula Pinnell comes forward to light the chalice, let us join together in reciting the words in the order of service. As we light the chalice, may we contemplate the many ways that we can love and support
in our lives.
Thank you. There will be no child and youth program today, so the children will stay. And if I could have Susan come up and do Joys and Sorrows.
Thank you, Michelle. As most of you know, Joyce Ramey has COVID, so I'm sort of doing the Joys and Sorrows subbing for her. So I'd like to ask anyone who has a joy or a sorrow to please come forward, but I would also ask you to refrain from any political or other inappropriate story of life. I have a small joy. Well, actually, it's a rather large joy. My youngest brother, who's been battling non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, had a successful treatment with chemotherapy, and he is now cancer-free and has been cancer-free for the last year. So I'm so excited. Now, who can I pass this to? Barb.
I'm Barb McFarland. I have a sorrow. I'm lighting a candle for my best friend since college who, wasn't expecting that, who is critically ill with pancreatic and liver cancer.
We hold her in our hearts, as you as well.
Okay, I'm Tina Noel, and my joy is that I attended the UUA Women's Retreat 2 weeks ago at Day Springs, and it was a wonderful experience. And I plan to attend next year, so keep it on your calendar.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Regina Kilmartin, and I have a joy. I woke up Friday morning and I opened Facebook, and a little gray tabby cat at the Lee County Domestic Shelter was looking at me, and her name was Ruthie, and that was my mother's name. So I think it was a sign. So I went down to the shelter and I picked her up. She's 7 years old, and she's made herself right at home. So now I have a new kitty.
Congratulations. Lucky kitty. She is.
Hello, I'm Wayne Robinson, and I was called out of retirement Friday to conduct a memorial service for the passing of Emily Palmer. Emily was one of our founding people. She was a UU minister. And you know, people always say, well, when I have my funeral, don't do a whole bunch of stuff and whatnot. You learn about people then, and it's so wonderful to hear. She was interim minister at 15 churches, including 2, one in Australia and one in New Zealand, and had 4 super children, and they were there and participated and did things and had done things that it was just a delight to be a part of. And so I want to light a candle in remembrance of Emily Morris Palmer.
Memory of Reverend Emily Palmer. Anyone else? Please come forward. Just say your name.
Hello, everyone. I'm Darlene Mitchell, and my joy today is as we wrap up the celebrations of Ramadan and all of our Muslim families. My daughter bought me an outfit back from Pakistan, so you have it. And I thank her for it.
Thank you, Darlene.
Hello, I'm Bill Snyder, an absentee member of the church, and I have a joy that's coming up, but since I'm leaving after this week, I thought I'd announce it now. My older grandson is graduating from grad school in Berlin, Germany in June. So I'm going to be going over there with his mother and his younger brother. So I thought I'd announce that today since I won't be back until September. Thank you.
Congratulations. Anyone else? If not, may I bring the mic to anyone who is seated? No? All right then. I will light this last candle for all of you who have joys, sorrows, concerns in your heart that remain unspoken. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to ask you all to close your eyes and take in that good, deep cleansing breath. Let us turn our minds and our hearts to today's service and to contemplate our blessings. Now, if you could all rise in body or spirit as we sing together hymn number 123, Spirit of Life.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Our reading today, or our opening words, are from Rumi. I profess the religion of love. Love is my religion and my faith. My mother is love. My father is love. My prophet is love. My God is love. I am a child of love. I have come only to speak of love.
I see a red door and I want it painted black. No colors anymore, I want them to turn black. I see the girls walk by dressed in their summer clothes. I have to turn my head until the darkness goes. I see a line of cars and they're all painted black, with flowers and my love both never to come back. I see people in their heads and quickly fade away. Like a newborn baby, it just happens every day. I look inside myself and see my heart is black. I see my red door and I must have it painted black. Maybe then I'll fade away and not have to face the facts. It's not easy facing up when your whole world's hood is black. No more will my green sea go turn a deeper blue. I could not foresee this thing happening to you. If I look hard enough into the setting sun, my love will laugh with me before the morning comes.
Thank you, Carlos. Today's reading is by Muhammad Iqbal. Look at the evils of the world around you and protect yourself from them. Our teachers give all the wrong messages to our youth since they take away the natural flair from the soul. Take it from me that all knowledge is useless until it is connected with your life. Because the purpose of knowledge is nothing but to show you the splendors of yourself. Be aware of your own worth. Use all of your powers to achieve it. Create an ocean from a dewdrop. Do not beg for light from that moon. Obtain it from the spark that's within you. Now, if you could please rise in body and spirit, we will sing together hymn number
38.
38.
Morning has
Carlos
broken.
is actually in charge, so.
Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the word. Sweet the rain's new fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first to fall, Eden birth grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where God's feet pass. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light Eden saw plain. Praise with elation, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day.
Now I'd like to introduce Peggy Singh, one of our founding members. She's going to come up and give us the message. Thank you. You have your microphone.
Wow. This is a nice vantage point because I'm seeing so many warm, smiling, friendly faces. This morning, Joyce Ramey texted me and she said, "You're going to do your leopard best." And I thought to myself, you know what? I think leopards are absolutely wonderful. So which means that she raised the bar. So let's see if I can pull this off. Good morning, everyone. Before I get to today's topic, empowering youth to address their mental health challenges, I would like to tell you a bit about the Mental Health Navigator program at Lee Health's Child Advocacy Department at Golasanos Children's Hospital. The program, which is about 3.5 years old, reaches out to parents with children in the school districts of Lee and Collier counties who are struggling with mental health and behavioral challenges. These children are referred to the program by the school districts. We also get referrals from Healthcare Network, a medical and dental provider in Collier County. I am one of 8 mental health navigators, and there are 4 public educators. Chantal Rhodes, my dear colleague and friend, and I call her my little one, she's here today, is one of them. She is also certified to teach mental health first aid, and thus she helps out the educators from time to time, and she's a dynamic teacher. Chantal's mom, who's here, of course, is the one and only Fort Myers songstress and diva, Darlene Mitchell. As we know, Darlene sings at All Faiths from time to time, and she has been doing so since our founding 22 years ago. The Mental Health Navigator program is unique in that it helps to close the gap between what the student needs and what the school and the family cannot do without outside assistance. A distinguishing feature of the program is that it uses wrap-around services in a family-centered team planning process to help parents access basic needs and care for their child struggling with a mental illness. Examples of wraparound services include connecting parents and children to mental health services, providing transportation, helping complete applications for such services as housing and rental assistance, SSI, which many of us know stands for Supplemental Security Income, LIHEAP, which stands for Low Income Energy Assistance Program. In short, it means helping them pay their electric bills. We have actually paid electric bills for clients. If it had not been paid on that day, they would have been disconnected. My colleague here can attest to this. And of course, SNAP, food, which we refer to very loosely as food stamps, and other local food resources. Navigators facilitate child-family team meetings with the child's parents, the mental health team at the child's school, and community partners who we bring on board to help the child and family. At these meetings, we identify needs and barriers, and we come up with tasks to address them. The tasks are then assigned to members of the team. When needed, flexible funds are used to get those tasks done. The money for this comes from the program's funding arm, Kids Minds Matter, of which you will hear about later. Parents emerge from these meetings feeling empowered and that their voices have been heard. Let me say what a gratifying feeling it is to see the difference our advocacy makes in the lives of our clients. I currently have 9 clients. Each of us has a maximum of 10, and they have all grown to trust me and count on me in their own way. But I've got to tell you this, nobody's clients love their navigator as Chantal's. And that's the truth, that is the truth. As clients reach a degree of self-sufficiency and where they can advocate for themselves, we graduate them from the program as we bring in new referrals. It's always an emotional time for us navigators to say so long to our clients, but we send them off with a list of resources that are very easy to access. And now for a very harrowing statement, which is, No one can deny that America is experiencing a surge in youth mental health crisis and that children's mental health took a huge hit during the COVID pandemic and here in Southwest Florida after the trauma of Hurricane Ian in September last year. Here are some alarming statistics from a March 2023 CBS documentary, Kids in Crisis. More than 60% of children with depression do not get mental health treatment. Pair that with the fact that 80% of the US has a severe shortage of pediatric psychiatrists, and the picture becomes gloomier. Children languish in emergency rooms waiting for mental health care, and there are long wait times for pediatric mental and behavioral health appointments. Teens are increasingly turning to TikTok for mental health advice. They are self-diagnosing and are often getting misinformation. Teen girls, too, are suffering in unprecedented ways. A survey by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, published in February of this year, found that in 2021, 57% of schoolgirls, of high school girls, reported experiencing persistent feelings of sadness or hopelessness in the past year, and that is up from 36% in 2011. We are reading and hearing of the news of the increased incidence of children and youth self-harming, of suicidal ideations, suicidal attempts, and death by suicide, and also mass shootings, of mass shootings by young people with mental illness. The most recent one, as we have heard, at a bank in Louisville, Kentucky, by 25-year-old Connor Sturgeon, who was being treated for anxiety and depression. And yet another alarming statistic in Florida. There has been a 235% increase in Baker Acts for children from 2020 to 2021, an additional 10% increase from 2021 to 2022. For those who may not be familiar with the term Baker Act, Florida's Baker Act law is a means of providing adults and children with emergency services for mental health and may include temporary detention for up to 72 hours. On an encouraging note, as Americans begin talking more openly about mental health challenges, so are Generation Z more open to talking about their mental health. An article in verywell.com, a resource on mental health topics, looked at Gen Z's awareness of mental health illnesses and why there is less mental health stigma among them. They are the generation born roughly between the years 1997 and 2012, and they are the first to be completely raised with the internet and smartphones. They are interconnected globally with a diverse range of people and largely communicate through technology and social media. I'll now talk about how youth in Southwest Florida are being empowered to address their mental health challenges. You may recall early on I mentioned Kids Minds Matter. Founded in 2016, Kids Minds Matter is a unified movement in Southwest Florida that is managed through Lee Health Foundation. It is dedicated to advancing pediatric mental and behavioral health services through education and lobbying for systemic change and sustainable funding. The movement seeks to align mental health providers, local agencies, the judicial system, law enforcement, and faith-based organizations. Here is a factoid that came out from Kids Minds Matter 2022 Impact Report. And we have got lots of copies of that in our office. It says that the Mental Health Navigator program has served 209 families since it began in 2020. Michelle, can I have a sip of water, please? Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I now see why famous people do this. Kids Minds Matter is the title sponsor of an annual event called Normal is Overrated. Area teens and their families are invited to the event that shines a light on the struggles of students with behavioral and mental health issues and helps them achieve greater acceptance in our community. It creates a space in the community that allows for open and supportive conversations to occur. This year's event was in February at Florida Southwestern State College. The program featured 3 local students, Colton, Layla, and Madison, who shared their first-hand experiences with behavioral and mental health issues, inspiring others to do the same. It provided live, insightful commentary on the additional toll that misunderstanding and fear can have on those who are already struggling. Their stories are being shared, the stories of these three local students are being shared, leading right up to Mental Health Awareness Month in May. Then there's Visuality, with its mission to enhance and sustain the health and well-being of LGBTQ communities by providing programs, educational events, and services. It also advocates for civil and human rights. Visuality partners with Kids Minds Matter to offer a free LGBTQ youth peer support group held weekly for youths ages 13 to 17. There's also Youth Initiative, which started this month on April 5th. It is a youth-driven group for teens ages 12 to 17 that empowers their peers to be the voice of mental health experiences. It supports youth growth and development and amplifies the youth voice to end mental health stigma. They meet every Wednesday at the Bill Austin Youth Center in Cape Coral. They have now begun meeting in Fort Myers at Florida Southwestern State College. And there's another resource, it's called REST. And REST is a Lee Health Initiative. It stands for Resilience Education Support Team. This is a multidisciplinary team, and these REST groups are now being offered in Lee County schools. I understand it's not yet in Collier County School, but Lee County schools, to help students with the mental health impact of Hurricane Ian. Parents can contact their child's school to find out when a REST group will be there. While recently looking for programs for my 2 teen clients, I've got 2 teen clients, I came across 2 agencies that help teens with mental health challenges. One of them is Andrew's Anthem, which teaches young people ages 10 to 24 how to manage stress, practice self-compassion, and connect with others in a healthy way. Its programs provide coping skills and resilience strategies, creating community, mindfulness practices, creative expression, connection with nature, and acts of service. My male teen client, who suffers from depression and is hard on himself, is currently enrolled in the Teen Mindful Self-Compassion class at Andrew's Anthem. And that particular teen session is for ages 12 to 17. It started earlier this month and it goes to May. His mom told me that he doesn't really like it, but she's having him continue with the hope that he will soon have a change of mind. And she said, honestly, Peggy, when I say I'm having him continue, I cannot guarantee that when I tell him, you better get inside there and log on, that he's going to do it. She said, but at least I stick with him and behind him right up until it's time for the session to start. The CEO and founder of Andrews Anthem, Dr. Laura oh shit, I can't believe I'm messing up her name. Dr. Laura Baltodeno, Dr. Laura Baltodeno. She attended a child family team meeting on Friday, just this past Friday, and she told the mom that what mattered, after the mom expressed her fear, and she felt so, she was feeling so discouraged that I don't even know if he's even logging on, and he doesn't want me in the room, so I don't know when I get out of there what he's really doing. Dr. Baldonado, I got it this time, I got her name correct, told the mom what really matters is that he's logging on. And even if he's not looking at the screen and following, let's hope that at the end of the session that he's going to walk away with a few nuggets. And I actually saw where the mom felt relieved. And then Dr. Baldonado told her, she says, as a matter of fact, Mom, we don't really want you in the room with the teen. We want you in the house in case there might be any triggers. If something happens, an adult is there. But actually, don't feel badly. We really don't want you in the room with him. Just right. So again, Mom felt very relieved about that. The other agency that I found out, and just this is very recent, it's called Well-Fit Girls. Well-Fit Girls, yeah. And one of its programs for teens is called Summit Sisters. Through interactive discussions and activities, girls are empowered to uncover their authentic selves. It offers a safe space for girls to explore sensitive topics and establish trust with one another. The program ends with a 7-day outdoor expedition, and this summer they will be going to Pisgah National Forest in North Carolina. My female teen client has significant mental health struggles. Bipolar disorder, schizoaffective disorder, ADHD, and she self-harms. She reluctantly enrolled, and both her mom and I thought that she would soon drop out. Turns out that the program is looking like what she needs. The program's director, Natalie Bradley, told me the following. She said she's engaging more with the other girls and is feeling the support of the group. Once she started sharing, she's realizing that her past trauma and life experiences are no different from those of the other girls. She participated and finished the 5K Hop to the Top on the Saturday of the long Easter weekend that schools were off, and she felt very proud of herself. I remember speaking with Mom, and I said to her, I said, you've heard, has she told you about Hop to the Top, this event that's going to be taking place on Saturday? And she said, no, she didn't. And she said, okay, but I'm going to ask her, right? So obviously Mom did, and the team from WellFed, they kept behind her, and she did it. She not only was present for the day, she actually participated and finished it, right? And these sentiments I just shared there, they were also echoed by Tracy Williams, who is the executive director of WellFit Girls. Ms. Williams attended, again, it was another child family team meeting. I had 2 of those on Friday. And she told the team's mom of the progress that her daughter is making and of her increased interaction and level of comfort with the other girls. So again, mom felt, there was some relief there. With this month's theme at All Faiths being a shared sense of the sacred, Joyce Ramey asked if I would mention how my mother's religion, Islam, guided my everyday life and led me in some way to a life of service. I've got to tell you, those last words were Joyce's words, okay? Accredited me with leading a life of serving others. That, I didn't say that about myself. Joyce is the one that said that. As Michelle Gemma said earlier, this is the holy month of Ramadan for Muslims throughout the world, a period of fasting from dawn until sunset for 29 to 30 days, depending on when the new crescent moon becomes visible. It is also a time of spiritual growth and is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. The other 4 pillars are the declaration of faith, daily prayer 5 times a day, alms given to the poor, and the pilgrimage to Mecca. The end of Ramadan is going to be marked with a big celebration, Eid al-Fitr, which is going to be on April the 21st. Growing up in the Caribbean island of Trinidad and Tobago, I was exposed to diversity in all its forms: culture, race, ethnicity, religion, socioeconomic status and background, and last but not least, my favorite, food. My maternal grandfather, who was born in Afghanistan, was an imam. My late brother Murad and several of my male first cousins, one of whom was an imam, embraced Islam as adults and adhered to its 5 pillars. My imam cousin Latif, to whom I was close, died a few years ago. His sister Murtia, who lives in England, and to whom I'm also close, I guess I should just say I'm close to all my cousins, you know? She is a Subud member, and she is observing Ramadan. Subud is an international interfaith spiritual movement. And Murtia and Latif's brother, again, my first cousin, and again, I'm close to him. He is a practicing Muslim, and he lives in upstate New York. He is also observing Ramadan. Some years ago, he gave me the Muslim name Sabrine, which means patient one, and he no longer calls me Peggy. And I have other first and second cousins and third cousins in Trinidad who are observing Ramadan and with whom I stay connected. My father, who had a Hindu father and a Muslim mother, converted to Catholicism as a young man, influenced by his Christian godmother, whom he dearly loved. I think the fact that back then teachers in Catholic schools were better paid played a role in his conversion too. When I reflect on the examples of the adults I grew up around, what I saw that came so naturally to them was sincere humility and kindness to everyone, especially the less fortunate. I guess it is this that has made me as empathetic as I am for the suffering and hardships of others. I truly feel, and I really mean this, I truly feel that being selfless liberates a person in ways that they may sometimes not connect to their sense of selflessness, but which makes them richer in ways that surpass material possessions. Thank you.
That was amazing. Thank you. Again, thank you. Right now, we're going to take your offertory. We appreciate your generous donations, which support our dedicated staff, our beautiful facilities, inspiring services, interesting activities, and social outreach at all faiths. So if you are being live streamed right now, you can also send a donation. You can send your checks to us, or you can go online and hit the give button. All donations will be gladly received at this moment.
When the day is long and the night is yours alone. When you're sure you've had enough of this life, well, hang on. Don't let yourself go. Everybody cries, and everybody hurts sometimes. Sometimes everything is wrong. Now it's time to sing along when your day is night alone. If you feel like letting go, when you think you've had too much of this life, well, hang on. 'Cause everybody hurts. Take comfort in your friends. Everybody hurts. If you're on your own alone in this life, the days and nights are long. When you think you've had too much of this life, hang on. Everybody hurts. Everybody cries. Everybody hurts sometimes. Everybody hurts sometimes. So hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Thank you. Today's closing words are by Hafiz. There was a 4-year-old child whose next-door neighbor was an elderly gentleman who had recently lost his wife. Upon seeing the man cry, the little boy went into the old gentleman's yard. He climbed up onto his lap, and he just sat there. When his mother asked what he had said to the poor neighbor, the little boy said, "Nothing, I just helped him cry." Even after all this time, the sun never says to the earth, "You owe me." Look what happens with a love like that. It lights the whole sky.
Feeling like a drop in the ocean that nobody noticed. Maybe it's all just in your head. Feeling like you're trapped in your own skin, and now your body's frozen. Broken down, you've got nothing left. When you're high on emotion and you're losing your focus and you feel too exhausted to pray, don't get lost in the moment or give up on your closest. All you need is somebody to say, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay. When you're down and you feel ashamed, it's okay not to feel okay. Feeling like life's an illusion, and lately you're secluded, thinking you'll never get your chance. Feeling like you got no solution, it's only 'cause you're human. No control, it's out of your hands. When you're high on emotion and you're losing your focus and you feel too exhausted to pray, don't get lost in the moment or give up when you're closest. All you need is somebody to say, it's okay not to feel okay. It's okay not to feel okay. When you're down and you feel ashamed, it's okay not to feel okay. When you're high on emotion and you're losing your focus and you feel too exhausted to pray, don't get lost in your moment or give up when you're closest. All you need is somebody to say, it's okay not to feel okay. It's okay not to feel okay. When you're down and you feel ashamed, it's okay not to feel okay. It's okay not to feel okay. It's okay not to feel okay. When you're down and you feel ashamed, it's okay not to feel okay. It's okay not to feel okay.
Thanks, Carlos. Also, happy Easter to the Orthodox folk out there. Today's Orthodox Easter. Just in case you didn't know. Anyway, I want to thank you so much, Peggy Singh, for your inspiring and informative message. We have the best lay leaders here. I swear to God. We'd like to thank you, Carlos, for the awesome music as usual. We'd like to thank Sharon on the camera, Sharon Gray, and Regina, thank you. Joe Gayton as our sexton, Joyce for the beautiful flowers, Joyce Schaefer, Nicole Racine and Frank Geltner for the wonderful hospitality that they offer us, the wonderful greeters. And just stay connected wherever you go. Just love each other and have a wonderful, wonderful day. But first, can we have Ursula Pinnell come up and extinguish our chalice? As we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of commitment, the fire of commitment, these we carry in our hearts and out to the world. Now please join us for coffee, cookies, conversation. Go now in peace. Eid Mubarak. Right on.
And thank you for coping with today's dark songs, but they were in light of the mental health, which is a dark issue itself. Thank you.